Welcome back to another episode. I'm Jack, and today we are dissecting the psychology behind the 7 specific types of toxic people who might be quietly dismantling your life right now.
I'm Sara, and we are diving deep into these 7 archetypes, from the energy vampires to the dream killers. And if you stay until the end, you won't need to look this topic up again because we'll cover it in full detail.
You know, when we think about things that are toxic or dangerous in our lives, our mind usually jump to something obvious.
Right, something loud, like a car alarm or a shouting match.
Exactly. You expect a threat to announce itself, to come with a warning label. But the framework we're exploring today, it starts with a much more unsettling idea.
The idea that the most dangerous things don't arrive with a scream.
They arrive with a smile.
And that's the core concept here, the invisible poison. It's not something that hits you all at once.
No, it's subtle. It's like carbon monoxide. You don't see it, you don't smell it, you just start to feel sick and you don't know why.
That's a perfect analogy, because these types of people, these archetypes, they don't look like villains.
Not at all. In fact, they often look like the opposite.
They look like the best friend you've ever had. They're charming, they're funny, they're the one who remembers your birthday.
They might be the person who says, "I love you" the most.
And that's what makes the poison so hard to detect. They mix it in with affection. It's hidden in the laughter, in the, I'm just kidding, comments.
So you start to feel drained or confused or just a little bit smaller after you're with them.
Yeah.
But you brush it off.
You do. You think, oh, I'm just tired, or I'm just being too sensitive. You make excuses for them because the alternative is terrifying.
The alternative is that the person you trust, the person you think is your friend,
is actually the source of the problem. That's a hard pill to swallow.
It's this slow day-by-day drainage of your happiness, your energy, your peace of mind. It happens in such tiny increments you barely notice.
It's the frog in the pot of water. If you drop it in when it's boiling, it jumps right out.
The shock is too great. The contrast is obvious.
But if you put it in cool water and slowly turn up the heat 1 degree at a time, it just acclimates.
It gets used to the rising temperature. It normalizes the danger.
Until it's too late. And that's what happens in these relationships. You acclimate to the dysfunction. You start to think that feeling drained and confused is just normal.
So our mission for this deep dive is really to give you a thermometer.
Yes, to help you notice when the water is getting hot. We want to move you from that state of confusion to a state of clarity.
We want to equip you with the power to protect yourself by learning to spot these types from, a mile away.
Once you see the patterns, you really can't unsee them. It's like one of those optical illusions. At first, it's just a jumble of lines, but once you see the image, it's there forever.
And that's where the power comes from, seeing it for what it is.
Exactly.
So before we jump into the first archetype, I want to ask you, the listener, a question. And please just take a second to really consider this.
Don't just gloss over it. This is a really important diagnostic tool for yourself.
Think about the people you interact with on a daily or weekly basis. Your friends, your family, your coworkers.
Your inner circle.
Is there someone who, after you leave them, makes you feel tired?
Or maybe empty.
Yeah.
Or just foggy and confused.
Like you need to take a nap just to recover from having coffee with them?
Just hold that person in your mind as we go through this list. Keep their face in your awareness.
Because I have a feeling that gut feeling you have about them is about to be validated.
And that's a good thing. It's the first step.
All right. And one more thing before we dive in. If you want to get a real handle on your social psychology, to master your own circle, make sure you subscribe on our platform.
We're always doing deep dives like this to help you understand the world and yourself a little better. You don't want to miss what's coming next.
Okay, let's get into the first one. This is probably the most psychologically damaging of all 7. It's the one that directly targets your sense of reality.
This is the distortion of reality, but you probably know it by a different name, the gaslighter. Or, as some psychologists call them, the confuser.
The confuser. I like that because it gets to the core of the experience. It's not about anger. It's about making you feel like you're losing your mind.
And we should be really clear here, the term gaslighting gets thrown around a lot these days, sometimes incorrectly.
Right, it's not just someone disagreeing with you or having a different opinion.
No, it's a very specific manipulation tactic. Here's the mechanism. You know something to be true, it's a fact. You have evidence, you saw it with your own eyes, you heard it with your own ears.
You said you would be here at 7. I saw you put the keys on that table. That comment you made was hurtful. You're standing on solid ground.
Exactly. But after a 5-minute conversation with a gaslighter, the ground beneath your feet is gone. You're suddenly questioning everything.
Let's use a really common scenario from the source material. You go to this person and you say calmly, "Hey, when you said that thing earlier, it hurt my feelings."
A perfectly reasonable thing to say in any healthy relationship. You're sharing your emotional reality.
In a healthy dynamic, what's the response? It's probably something like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it would land that way."
Right. There's an acknowledgement of your feeling. There's accountability. Even if they didn't intend to hurt you, they acknowledge that they did.
But the gaslighter doesn't do that. They can't do that. Instead, they flip the script.
Instantly. They don't address the content of what you said. They attack your right to feel that way.
So you get responses like, "Why are you being so dramatic?" or "You're way too sensitive."
I was just joking. Can't you take a joke? Or my personal favorite, you always take things the wrong way.
See what just happened? The conversation is no longer about their behavior.
It's now about your supposed character flaws. The problem isn't that they said something hurtful. The problem is that you're too sensitive or have no sense of humor.
It's a brilliant and frankly a diabolical pivot. They sidestep all responsibility and put you on the defensive.
And if you're an empathetic person, which many people in these situations are, you start to second guess yourself. You think, wait, maybe I am being too dramatic.
Maybe I am too hard to deal with. And the moment you start asking those questions, they've won.
They've successfully planted a seed of doubt in your own perception. They've made you the problem.
And this goes even deeper than just deflecting feelings. It extends to rewriting history.
This is the really crazy-making part. They will deny that events ever happened. You'll confront them with something concrete.
We had a conversation about this last Tuesday, and you agreed to handle it.
And they'll look you right in the eye with complete and utter sincerity and say, that never happened.
Or you're remembering it wrong, or you must have dreamt that.
And they say it with such conviction that you, for a second, actually believe them. You think, wow, is my memory really that bad?
There's one phrase they use that is particularly insidious. "Are you okay? You seem a little unstable lately."
That is weaponized concern. They frame their lie as though they are worried about your mental health. It's a way to discredit you while making themselves look like the caring, stable one.
So psychologically, what is the long-term impact of this? It feels like more than just an argument. It feels like it's eroding something fundamental.
It is. It's the erosion of self-trust. Think about it this way. Your mind, your perception, your memory, that's your internal guidance system. It's your compass.
It's how I navigate the world. I have to trust it.
Right. What the gaslighter does is they slowly, systematically convince you that your compass is broken, that north is actually south.
So you stop relying on your own navigation.
You stop trusting your own perception of reality. And who do you start trusting instead?
Them. The person who was messing with the compass in the first place.
Exactly. You outsource your reality testing to your abuser. You become dependent on them to tell you what's real.
That's terrifying. You end up in what the material calls the confusion loop.
Yes. You feel perpetually disoriented, like you're walking on eggshells. You're constantly trying to guess what their version of reality will be today so you can align with it and avoid a fight.
And this is where we see that symptom you mentioned earlier, the preemptive apology.
You start apologizing for things you didn't even do. You say, I'm sorry, just to end the circular argument. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. I remembered it wrong.
You're sacrificing your reality for their comfort.
You are. You're paying a tax on the relationship, and the currency is your own sanity.
So the big question is, why do people stay in these relationships? If someone is making you feel crazy, why not just leave?
It's so complicated. Often it's because the gaslighting is mixed with periods of intense affection and charm. It's called intermittent reinforcement.
So it's not bad all the time.
Never. If it were, it would be easy to leave. They'll make you feel insane on Tuesday, but on Wednesday, they'll be the most loving, supportive partner you've ever had. They love bomb you.
And that makes you think, okay, the good version is the real version. The bad stuff must be my fault.
Exactly. You cling to the good times and you keep trying to get back to them, not realizing the bad times are a necessary part of the manipulation. You value the relationship more than your own reality.
So the key takeaway here, the fundamental truth to hold on to, is actually very simple.
Real friends, real partners, they admit when they make a mistake.
That's it. They don't make you feel insane for having feelings. They don't try to rewrite history to avoid being wrong.
If you tell someone you hurt me and their first response is to defend themselves instead of caring about your hurt, that is a massive red flag.
Okay, time for another interactive question for you, the listener. And again, please be brutally honest with yourself. This is for you.
No one else is listening to your answer. Just you.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is never and 10 is all the time, How often do you find yourself apologizing to a specific person just to end an argument, even when, deep down you didn't do anything wrong?
Just sit with that number for a second.
If that number is a 6, a 7, or higher, that's a serious indicator. That is your intuition waving a giant red flag.
It's a sign that you're in a dynamic where your reality is not being respected.
All right, let's move into our second segment. This one is really a two-part archetype because the behaviors are different, but the underlying dynamic is the same.
It's about emotional parasitism. It's about people who use you to manage their own emotional state, leaving you completely drained.
We're talking about the drama magnet and the energy vampire.
Even just hearing the names makes me feel a little tired.
Hey, let's start with the louder one, the drama magnet, or the chaos maker.
This is the person whose life is a constant 5-alarm fire. It is a soap opera, and they are the star.
There's always a crisis, always a villain, always a tragedy unfolding.
Let's walk through what a typical week might look like for them because the pattern is so recognizable.
Okay, Monday, they're having a massive, tearful fight with their mother. It's the end of the world. The relationship is ruined forever.
You spend 2 hours on the phone with them, calming them down, acting as a mediator.
Tuesday, they've been betrayed at work. Their coworker, Susan, looked at them funny in the break room, and now there's a conspiracy to get them fired.
So you spend your lunch break talking them off the ledge, reassuring them that Susan probably just had a bad morning.
Wednesday, their partner looked at their phone for a second too long. They're convinced they're being cheated on. They're packing their bags.
Another crisis.
Thursday, the neighbor put their garbage can 3 inches over the property line, and now it's an all-out war.
It just never, ever stops. There's no peace. And here's the trap for you as their friend.
At first, you feel for them. You're an empathetic person. You see someone in distress, and your natural instinct is to help.
You listen, you give advice, you offer solutions. You say, have you tried talking to your boss about this? Or maybe you and your partner should see a counselor.
But what happens to your advice?
Nothing. It vanishes into thin air.
Nothing ever changes. You give them a perfectly good solution, a way out of the drama, and they will always have an excuse for why it won't work.
Oh, I could never do that. Yes, but you don't understand. They reject every single life raft you throw them.
Psychologically, what is going on there? Why would someone constantly complain about problems they have no intention of solving?
Because they don't want solutions.
They want an audience.
That's it exactly. They are addicted to the storm. The chaos makes them feel important. It makes them feel alive. A calm, peaceful life would feel boring and empty to them.
So if there isn't a fire, they'll light one.
Just to have something to put out. And your role in this drama is not to be a problem solver. Your role is to be a spectator. You are there to gasp, to worry, to give them attention.
You're a supporting character in their movie.
You're just a prop. And if you solve their problem, the scene is over. The curtain falls. They can't have that.
Wow. So while the drama magnet is loud and chaotic, the other type in this category, the energy vampire, is often much quieter.
Yes, the energy thief.
Yeah.
This one is less about the dramatic stories and more about the physical sensation of being around them.
We call it feeling soul tired.
It's not just, oh, I'm sleepy. It's a profound sense of depletion. It feels like someone literally unplugged your life force battery.
You feel heavy after you talk to them. You might even feel a little sick or get a headache.
The dynamic is very simple. They treat you like an emotional garbage dump.
That's a strong image.
But it's accurate. They walk around carrying all of their negativity, their complaints, their fears, their anxieties in these big, heavy bags.
And when they meet up with you for coffee,
they just open the bags and dump it all on your table. For an hour, it's just a relentless stream of negativity. Everything is awful. Nothing is good. The world is ending.
And at the end of the conversation, how do they feel?
They feel amazing. They feel so much lighter. They've vented. They've offloaded. They walk away with a spring in their step.
But you're left sitting there, covered in their emotional trash. You leave feeling heavier while they leave feeling lighter.
There's been a direct transfer of energy. Or, more accurately, a transfer of negativity.
Now, some people might hear this and think, oh, that's just a metaphor. You can't actually steal energy. But this isn't just a turn of phrase, is it? There's a biological process happening.
There absolutely is. We have to talk about nervous system regulation and co-regulation.
Okay, but break that down for us.
So, as human beings, we're wired for connection. Our nervous systems are constantly communicating with each other, mostly non-verbally. We have things called mirror neurons in our brains.
And they do what the name implies. They mirror what they see.
In a way, yes. When you are with another person, your nervous system tries to sync up with theirs. It's an evolutionary survival mechanism. If you're with a calm, regulated person, their calmness can actually calm your nervous system down. That's co-regulation.
It's why holding a crying baby and being calm can help the baby calm down.
Precisely. But the reverse is also true. If you are an empathetic person sitting with someone who is in a state of high anxiety, stress, and negativity,
Your nervous system starts to mirror their stress.
yes, your body starts to produce their stress hormones. Your heart rate might increase, your muscles might tense up. You are physically, biologically taking on their emotional state.
So that feeling of being drained isn't in my head. My body is literally working overtime to process their stress.
You are carrying a physiological load that isn't yours. It's a direct anxiety transfer, and your body doesn't know the difference. It thinks the threat is real, so it goes into a low-grade fight or flight mode.
And doing that day after day.
Leads to burnout, it leads to chronic stress, it can lead to actual physical illness. Your body always keeps the score.
This feels like a really good moment to pause and just check in with everyone.
Yeah, if you're listening to this and you're having one aha moment after another.
If these descriptions are hitting a little too close to home, please do us a favor and like this episode.
It's not about vanity for us. When you like it, the algorithm shows it to more people. And that means more people who are feeling confused and drained right now might find it and get the clarity they need.
It helps us help them. So thank you for that. And let's do another quick interactive question.
Pause and reflect on this one. It's a body-based question.
Who is the person in your life that when you see their name pop up on your phone's caller ID, you have a physical reaction?
Does your stomach clench? Do your shoulders tense up towards your ears? Do you let out a little sigh?
That physical response, that dread, that is not you being a bad person.
It is your body's wisdom. It is your nervous system's warning signal telling you, danger ahead. Interaction with this person will cost you.
Your body often knows the truth long before your conscious mind is ready to admit it.
Listen to it. Honor that signal.
Okay, let's move on to segment 3. This category is different. It's not about draining your energy. It's about suppressing your identity.
These are the people who, consciously or unconsciously, try to make you smaller, to keep you in a box.
We have 2 major archetypes here, the dream killer and the Mimi person.
Let's start with the dream killer. This one is so painful because it often comes from people who are supposed to love you the most. Family, partners, lifelong friends.
The scenario is almost always the same. You are excited about something. You have a new passion, a new goal.
You want to start a business or learn guitar or go back to school or run a marathon. It's a little spark of hope and vulnerability.
And you make the choice to share that spark with them. You open up and say, guess what? I'm thinking of doing this thing.
And what do they do with that spark?
They pour a bucket of cold water on it. Instantly.
There's no celebration, there's no curiosity, there's just immediate negativity.
You hear things like, oh, that's way too hard. Or, do you know how many people fail at that? People like us don't do things like that. Or, you're not really the disciplined type, are you?
It's like they have a pin ready to pop your balloon the second you start to inflate it.
And they always disguise it as concern.
I'm just being realistic. I'm just trying to protect you from getting hurt. I'm just playing devil's advocate. It's presented as helpful, pragmatic advice.
But is there a difference between genuine, helpful feedback and this kind of dream killing?
A massive difference. Helpful advice is constructive. It builds. It offers a path forward. It says, that's an amazing goal. It's going to be tough. Have you thought about how you'll handle X, Y, and Z?
So it acknowledges the dream and then helps problem solve the obstacle.
Exactly. It's additive. Toxic criticism or dream killing is purely subtractive. It just crushes. It offers no alternative path, no solution. It just erects a wall and says, stop.
So what's the psychology behind it? Why would someone you love want to stop you from growing?
It's almost never about you. It's about them. It's projection.
Projection of what?
Their own fear, their own insecurity, their own regrets. They are terrified that you might actually try and succeed.
Why would my success be terrifying to them?
Because if you succeed, it proves that it was possible. And if it was possible for you, it might have been possible for them too.
And that would force them to confront the fact that they were just too afraid to try.
Precisely. Your success eliminates their favorite excuse. It holds up a mirror to their own inaction. To protect themselves from that painful realization, they need you to stay small. They need you to fail.
So your prison is built from the bars of their fear.
That's a powerful way to put it. And if you listen to them long enough, you start to internalize their limitations as your own. You stop dreaming altogether.
Now, very closely related to this is the second archetype in this category, the narcissistic mirror, the me person.
Oh, the one-person show. We all know one.
This is the person who treats every conversation like a monologue, and you're just there to hold the cue cards.
You try to talk about your day, you say, I had such a stressful day at work.
And within 30 seconds, they have pivoted the entire conversation back to themselves.
Oh, you think you had a stressful day? Let me tell you about my day. My boss is a monster, and they're off.
It's the game of, that's nothing, listen to this. They have to one-up you, whether it's suffering or success.
You say, I got a small raise. They say, oh, that's nice. When I got my raise, it was double that, and they threw in a corner office.
They just cannot tolerate anyone else being in the spotlight, even for a moment.
A conversation to them is not a tennis match, a give and take. It's a stage, and they are the only actor.
So what does that do to you, the other person in the quote-unquote relationship, over time?
It leads to what we call an erasure of self. You start to feel invisible.
Because you are.
To them, you are. Your experiences, your feelings, your stories, they don't actually register. They're just seen as inconvenient interruptions to their monologue.
It's not a give-and-take relationship. It's a give-and-take everything.
Right. And over time, you shrink. You just stop sharing. Why bother telling a story when you know it's going to be hijacked in the first sentence?
You become what's known as a gray rock. You make yourself as boring and unresponsive as possible just to avoid engaging.
You exist only to reflect their life back at them. You are their mirror. And that is an incredibly lonely existence. You can be in a room full of people and feel completely and utterly alone.
Okay, segment 4. This one moves from the draining and suppressing into outright betrayal. This is about the destruction of trust.
This is where things get really dangerous. These aren't just annoying people. These are people who can cause serious, lasting harm.
We're talking about the fake friend and the promise breaker.
Let's start with the fake friend, sometimes called the two-faced friend or the snake in disguise.
The most dangerous thing about this type is how good they are at the disguise. They are masters of creating a false sense of intimacy.
They have to be. To get the ammunition they need to hurt you, they first have to earn your trust. So they are often incredibly charming, attentive, and seem like the best listener in the world at first.
They create a safe space. They say, you can tell me anything. Your secret is safe with me.
And because you're human and you crave connection, you believe them. You confide in them. You share something vulnerable, a secret, a fear, an embarrassing story.
And then what happens?
You hear it back from someone else. Or you walk into a party and realize that your private, painful moment has become their funny anecdote.
The betrayal is just devastating. Why does it hurt so much more coming from a friend than from, say, an enemy?
Because you expect an enemy to attack you. Your defenses are up. You're wearing emotional armor.
But with a friend, your armor is off. You've let them inside the castle walls.
So the attack comes from the inside. It's a wound you never saw coming, and it's inflicted by the person you tasked with guarding your back.
That kind of betrayal creates a very specific type of wound.
Yes, it creates a cold suspicion. It makes you paranoid. You start to pull away from everyone. You build walls to prevent it from happening again.
So one person's betrayal can poison your ability to form healthy connections in the future.
Absolutely. And a key indicator of this type is their transactional nature. They are only your friend when it benefits them.
When you have something they want, gossip, connections, money, a fun time, they're your best friend.
But the moment you're going through a hard time or you're sad or you need something from them, they vanish. They're ghosts.
Which leads us perfectly into the second type here, the promise breaker. Or as the material calls them, the fake oasis.
I love that metaphor because it perfectly captures the feeling.
Explain it.
You're in a desert, dying of thirst, you're desperate. And in the distance, you see it. Shimmering water, palm trees, an oasis.
That oasis is their promise.
I'll be there to help you move on Saturday, I promise. I'll pay you back on Friday. You can count on me. I'll support you no matter what.
So you gather your last bit of energy and you run towards that promise, believing it will save you.
And when you finally get there, exhausted and hopeful, it's just sand. There was never any water.
The promise was an illusion.
And the real tragedy isn't just the disappointment of the broken promise. It's what you lost while you were counting on it.
It's the opportunity cost.
Yes. You didn't ask anyone else to help you move because they promised they would. You didn't make other financial arrangements because you were counting on that money.
You essentially put your life on hold, waiting for someone who is never going to show up.
You get stuck in this perpetual waiting room. And they always have a plausible excuse.
Oh my God, my car broke down. My kid got sick. I couldn't leave. It always sounds legitimate.
The first time, You give them the benefit of the doubt. A second time, you feel bad for them. But by the fifth time, you have to stop looking at the excuses and start looking at the pattern.
The pattern is that they are unreliable. Their words have no weight.
And I have a very firm stance on this one. You have to stop giving them chances.
Just cut them off.
You have to. Your time is your most valuable, non-renewable resource. If someone consistently disrespects your time by not showing up, they are telling you exactly how much they value you.
Which is not much.
Right. Value yourself enough to stop dying of thirst while waiting for a mirage? Go find a real well.
Okay, so we've laid out all 7 archetypes. But in the real world, it's rarely that clean.
Oh, never. You don't usually get just one. You get a toxic combo meal.
So let's run through a mini case study to see how these traits can cluster together in one person.
Let's do it.
Our subject is Alex. Alex has a friend named Jordan. They've been friends for a long time.
A classic setup. The history makes it harder to see clearly.
Right. Jordan is constantly in crisis. Jordan calls Alex multiple times a week, venting about their terrible boss, their flaky partner, their money problems.
Okay, so right off the bat, Jordan is a classic drama magnet, using Alex as an emotional dumping ground.
And Alex, being a good friend, listens for hours.
Yeah.
Alex offers advice, which Jordan always ignores, so Alex is feeling pretty drained.
So Jordan is also an energy vampire. Check.
Then, last week, something different happened. Alex got a promotion at work. It's a big deal. And Alex is really excited and a little nervous about the new responsibilities.
A moment of vulnerable celebration for Alex.
Alex calls Jordan to share the good news, and Jordan's first response is, "Oh, wow. Are you sure you're ready for that? That sounds like a lot of stress. You don't handle stress well."
Ooh, there's the dream killer, immediately sowing seeds of doubt and fear.
Alex is taken aback and says, that wasn't very supportive. And Jordan immediately gets defensive.
Here,
Jordan says, I'm just being honest. Someone has to be. God, you're so sensitive sometimes. I'm just looking out for you.
And there it is, the gaslighter.
The trifecta.
Blaming Alex for being sensitive instead of taking responsibility for the hurtful comment.
So in that one short interaction, we see Jordan acting as a dream killer and a gaslighter.
Yeah.
And this is layered on top of the constant baseline of being a drama magnet and an energy vampire.
This is a perfect example of cluster toxicity. And the big question is the one you challenged us with earlier.
Wow.
Why does Alex stay? Why does Alex pick up the phone the next time Jordan calls?
What's the psychological hook?
It's almost certainly that intermittent reinforcement we talked about. Because I guarantee you, after that fight, Jordan probably sent Alex a text the next day saying, "Hey, sorry if I was harsh. You know I love you and I'm your biggest fan."
The love bomb after the attack.
It keeps Alex off balance. It makes Alex think, see, the good Jordan is still in there. I just have to be patient. But it's a trap. This is not a friendship.
What is it?
It's a parasitic host relationship. Jordan is using Alex for emotional regulation, for an ego boost, and to feel superior while actively sabotaging Alex's own growth and happiness.
So, okay, hearing this, a lot of people are probably recognizing their own Jordan. The next logical step is, what do you actually do? What do you say?
It's so hard in the moment. Your adrenaline is pumping, you feel attacked, you freeze up. That's why you need scripts.
You need pre-planned, rehearsed lines that you can deploy without having to think.
Let's do a little boundary script roleplay. We'll act out a few scenarios to give you the actual words.
Great idea. Okay, scenario 1. The energy vampire wants to do their negativity dump on you. I'll be the vampire. You set the boundary.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh my God, you will not believe the day I've had. My boss is a complete idiot. The traffic was insane, and I think I'm getting sick. Let me just tell you everything.
I can hear you're having a really rough day, and I'm sorry to hear that. I don't have the emotional capacity to talk about it right now, though. We can either talk about something else, or I'm gonna have to go.
Wow. That was direct.
Ooh.
But it wasn't mean. Let's break that down. You started with empathy.
I can hear you're having a rough day. Acknowledge their reality first. It shows you're listening.
Then you stated your boundary using an I statement. I don't have the emotional capacity.
It's not an attack on them. It's a statement of your own internal resources. No one can argue with that. You didn't say you're too negative. You said, I don't have the capacity.
And then you gave a choice. Change the subject or the conversation ends. It puts the power back in their hands, but within your boundaries. Okay, scenario 2. The gaslighter. They're trying to tell you that your reality is wrong. I'll play the gaslighter.
Go for it.
That's not what happened at all. You're completely misremembering it. Honestly, you're being a little crazy right now.
We clearly remember the event differently. I'm not going to argue about my own experience. I'm ending this conversation now.
I'm not going to argue about my own experience.
Yeah.
That is a powerful sentence.
It's a complete shutdown of their tactic. A gaslighter's power comes from drawing you into a debate about what is real. If you refuse to debate, they have nowhere to go.
You're not trying to convince them. You're just stating your position and exiting.
You take your ball and go home. Game over.
I love it. Okay, one more. Scenario 3. The dream killer. They're shooting down your new idea.
Let's hear it.
You want to start your own business? Ha. That's a terrible idea. You'll probably fail within a year. You should just stick to your safe job.
I appreciate that you're trying to look out for me, but I'm not looking for feedback on this right now. I'm just sharing something I'm excited about.
I'm not looking for feedback right now. That's so clean.
It reframes the interaction. You're telling them, this was an announcement, not a consultation. You didn't ask for their opinion, so they don't have the right to give it.
And starting with, I appreciate you trying to look out for me, disarms them a little bit.
It gives them the benefit of the doubt, even if you know their motives are suspect. It makes the boundary easier to swallow.
These scripts are fantastic, but even with the right words, these interactions are still stressful. They still take a toll on your nervous system.
Oh, absolutely. Setting a boundary can spike your adrenaline. So we need practical tools for self-protection and for calming your system down afterwards.
Let's get into segment 7, practical tools. What's the first one?
The first is a visualization technique. It's called the theater exit. The mantra for this is, you don't have to buy a ticket to their circus.
I like that. So how does it work in practice?
When you feel the drama starting up, the chaos maker is spinning their story, the vampire is starting their rant, you do this in your mind. Visualize yourself sitting in a dark movie theater. The person talking is up on the giant screen.
So I'm creating distance. I'm an observer, not a participant.
Exactly. You watch the drama unfold on the screen. You can see it, you can hear it, but it's not happening to you. You are separate from it.
And
Then, in your mind's eye, you see yourself stand up from your seat, walk down the aisle, find the exit door, and push it open. You step out of the dark theater and into bright, quiet, peaceful sunlight.
you disengage emotionally before you disengage physically.
That's the key. If you can leave the theater in your mind, it becomes infinitely easier to then say, I have to go now, and physically leave the conversation.
Okay, tool number 2. This one is more analytical. It's called the energy audit.
This is for people who need to see the data to believe it. It's very simple. Take out a piece of paper or open a note on your phone.
And write down the names of the 5 to 10 people you spend the most time with.
Yes. And next to each name, I want you to write just one word, either lighter or heavier.
Based on how you feel after you interact with them.
Be brutally honest. After you hang up the phone or walk away from coffee with them, do you feel energized, inspired, and lighter? Or do you feel drained, exhausted, and heavier?
And when you're done, you'll have a very clear balance sheet.
You'll see your energy assets and your energy liabilities. If you have too many heavier people on that list, you are running an energetic deficit. You can't live like that long term.
It's not about judging them as bad people. It's about acknowledging the effect they have on you and managing your own well-being.
You have to limit your exposure to the heavier column. It's not punishment, it's preservation.
And that leads to tool number 3, the battery recharge.
This is what you do after an unavoidable interaction with a heavier person. You've been drained, your battery is at 10%. How do you recharge?
The big mistake people make is they go back to the person who drained them, hoping to get their energy back.
Yes. They try to explain themselves or get an apology, thinking that will fix it. You can't ask the vampire to give you a blood transfusion. They don't have it to give.
So you have to be your own charging station.
You have to source your energy from clean, healthy sources. That means solitude, going for a walk in nature, listening to music that calms you.
Journaling, taking a bath, anything that calms your nervous system.
Or connecting with someone from your lighter list. Call the friend who makes you laugh. Spend time with the person who makes you feel seen. You have to consciously and deliberately plug yourself back into a healthy power source to recalibrate.
This is so important. Okay, before we wrap up, we need to tackle some common myths that keep people stuck.
Yes, the guilt. The sense of obligation. We need to dismantle those justifications.
Let's do a myth versus fact segment. Myth number 1. If I'm just a good enough friend, if I listen a little longer, if I'm a little more patient, they will eventually change or heal.
The savior complex. It's so seductive, the belief that your love can fix a broken person.
And the fact,
you cannot change them. And by continuing to absorb their dysfunction, you are not helping, you are enabling.
explain that. How is listening enabling?
As we said with the drama magnet, they are addicted to the audience. Your patient listening is the drug. You are actually reinforcing the very behavior that is making them and you miserable.
So the most loving thing you can do is to withdraw that attention.
Sometimes, yes. Your refusal to participate in the drama might be the only thing that forces them to finally look at their own patterns. But even if it doesn't change them, it will save you. And that has to be your priority.
Okay, myth number 2. This one is huge. Walking away is mean. Setting boundaries is selfish.
This is the guilt that has been programmed into us since childhood, especially for women. Be nice, be accommodating, don't make waves.
And it gets amplified if the toxic person is family. But that's your mother. He's your brother.
The belief that a biological connection is a blank check for abuse.
So what's the fact here?
Fact. Walking away is a profound act of self-love and self-respect. Protecting your mental health is not selfish. It is your fundamental responsibility.
I love that quote. You are not required to set yourself on fire to keep others warm.
That is the core truth. If you allow these relationships to burn you down to ash, you are no good to anyone. Not to the healthy people in your life, not to your work, and certainly not to yourself.
Self-preservation isn't selfish. It's necessary for survival.
Absolutely.
Wow, we have covered so much ground. This has been an incredibly detailed breakdown. Let's try to distill it down into a few key takeaways to wrap up.
Okay, bullet point number 1. Toxicity is often quiet and disguised as friendship.
Don't look for the monster in the closet. Look for the gaslighter who smiles, the fake friend who says, I love you. Trust that heavier feeling in your gut. It's rarely wrong.
Bullet point number 2. Your energy is a finite and precious resource. It is your life force.
Treat it like a bank account. You only have so much to spend each day. Stop giving it away for free to energy vampires and drama magnets. Invest it in people and projects that give you a return.
And bullet point number 3. Walking away or setting a firm boundary is often the smartest and bravest thing you can do to protect your own future.
It's not about being cruel to them. It's about being kind to the future version of yourself who deserves peace, happiness, and the freedom to chase their dreams without being shot down.
Well said.
So, with all that in mind, here is your weekly listener challenge. We don't want this to just be information. We want it to be a transformation.
Take one small step. Action is the antidote to anxiety.
Pick just one person in your life who fits one of these descriptions, the one whose name popped into your head at the very beginning.
You don't have to have a dramatic confrontation. You don't have to cut them out of your life tomorrow. Just set one small boundary this week.
Maybe that means you let their call go to voicemail. Maybe you wait 3 hours to text back instead of 3 minutes.
Maybe you use one of the scripts. When they start to dump, you say, I don't have the capacity for this right now. When they criticize your dream, you say, I'm not looking for feedback.
Just one small act of self-protection. And then, notice how you feel afterward.
Pay attention to your body. Do you feel a little lighter? Is there a little less tension in your shoulders? That feeling, that is your proof. That's the direction you need to keep moving in.
If this deep dive helped you see something clearly for the first time, if a light bulb finally went on for you, please hit that subscribe button on our platform.
We want to keep bringing you this kind of clarity. It's what we're here for.
And please, think of one person who needs to hear this. Share this episode with them. Sometimes we need to hear it from an outside voice.
We have to look out for each other. This knowledge is a shield, and we should share it.
Join us next time. We're going to be talking about the crucial next step.
After you've cleared out the toxicity, there's often an empty space. We're going to discuss how to rebuild your trust in yourself and in others so you can fill that space with healthy, supportive connections.
It's going to be a really important conversation. Thanks for listening.
Take care of yourselves.